Hey everyone, it's Alexander Seery, founder of Shifts to Success, helping police officers break out, make the change and live their lives. And today, I'm going to be giving you 10 reasons why you should become an entrepreneur. And before I begin, I just want to say that I'm not anti having a job or anti-police, but I am pro options and I am pro you. And if you're thinking of starting your own business one day, my hope is that by sharing these benefits, it will reassure you that you're in fact making the right decision. Now, when I was working as a detention officer based in custody, I knew that one day I would resign from that role and run my own business. I just didn't realise how fast that would happen, which is pretty cool. But you see, at the time I knew few of the benefits of being your own boss and being an entrepreneur and running your own business, which are mainly things like having more money and more time. But when I actually made the transition into business full time, I discovered a whole new other load of benefits that I want to share with you in this video. So, without further ado, number one, freedom. Although I'm not highlighting these benefits in any particular order, I must say that this is one of my favorite benefits, freedom. As an entrepreneur, you have complete freedom to live a life where you want and earn as much as you want, work with who you want and allocate your time where you want, whether that's doing certain work, activities, or just generally spending more time with your family and loved ones. I don't have to worry about clocking on and off shift, booking annual leave for a holiday away, or even getting called on my rest days for a training day like I did when I was working with the police force. If you're an entrepreneur, your agenda is yours. No one dictates your life. You choose your own working hours as well as your own destiny. To me, personally, entrepreneurship is freedom. Number two, age doesn't matter. Now, I worked out the math, and for me to reach a salary of £145,000 as a chief constable, I'd have to be in the age range between 40 to 50 maybe, and not to mention all the stresses that would go along with reaching such a high rank. However, at the age of 26, I achieved an income of £110,000 with 2.5 years of starting business. You see, you could be 21, 40, 50 or 60, age doesn't matter in the world of entrepreneurship. Mark Zuckerberg, the co-founder of Facebook, became the youngest billionaire in history at the age of 23. And in contrast to that, Colonel Arnold Sanders, the founder of KFC, built up his billion-dollar company at the age of 88. Often we tell ourselves that we can't achieve success because of our age, but I'm here to tell you, you can be successful regardless of your age. Age is seriously just a number when you're an entrepreneur. Number three, profits over wages. Whatever rank you reach in the police force, unfortunately, there will be a cap on the amount of money you can earn. And to make matters worse, you have to trade a lot of your time to earn your wage. There are 168 hours in a week. You will spend 40 plus hours working away in the job. You will spend an average of 56 hours sleeping to recover from the tiresome shifts in the job, which will only leave you 72 hours a week to do what you truly want to do. Now, to me, that sounds pretty shit, but unfortunately, that's the trade-off you make by being an employee within the system. Your most precious resource is being spent, time, for the labour you give to your job. However, as a business owner, you get to create and leverage systems within your business to ensure you're not trading as much time for the money you earn and to make money even whilst you're asleep. Number four, no politics. In the police force, there's a lot of politics going off, from new policies, software, or changes in processes, and the reason for this is one word: politics. Even down to which government is in power can shape your destiny as a police officer. Also, in achieving such a certain rank, you have to follow a process that the organisation sets out for you. I remember once when I was working in custody, we had a complete change in process that, in my eyes, just didn't work, as well as my colleagues' eyes. I won't go into it here in much detail, but long story short, this process made everything much more difficult for myself and my colleagues, especially as the number of staff we had available was so low in custody. This, of course, was my opinion and how I saw it, but as an entrepreneur, you make your own policies and processes that you can change whenever you feel like it, and regardless of which government is in power, because you adapt and overcome them. Number five, no sacking or suspensions. When I was working in custody, there always seemed to be a worrying, anxious feeling hanging in the air from a complaint from our good intentions as officers. Even other police officers are worried about complaints from the public or the organisation, knowing that one day their decisions may come back to haunt them and cost them their jobs or pensions. I would watch my colleagues get served notice by our professional standards department, which of course is policy, as they are under investigation due to a complaint. Every time there was always good intentions behind whatever my colleagues were being accused of, but nonetheless, this is a very, very stressful time for them. As an entrepreneur, no one can sack you or suspend you. You may get complaints from your customers from time to time, which is normal, but that isn't nowhere near as bad as what would happen if you were in the police force. And in fact, having a complaint as an entrepreneur is an opportunity to improve your business. Number 6, you are never bored. I'm sure one of the reasons you joined the police force was to tackle something new and exciting each day. However, after 2 or 3 years of being in the force, you start to see a common theme with the people you encounter, whether that's drug arrests, traffic offences, domestics, or the typical bop. By a student who ends up getting way too drunk and then starts telling you he hasn't done anything whilst also telling you how to do your job and that he knows the law better than you. This is what I encountered in custody regularly, and this starts to become a common theme and would indicate boredom by any means. But as an entrepreneur, something new and exciting is always around the corner because you're in control. You get to launch products, bring on team members, look at branding, make business deals, write books, or it may even be that you work from anywhere in the world looking over a gorgeous view with a cocktail in hand. Just make sure you do the actual work if you're doing that. In the world of entrepreneurship, boredom doesn't exist really because you get to do what you want to do. Number 7, you are paid your worth. If you're a police officer watching this, just think of your latest payslip for a moment, whatever that may be. Whether it states 1,500, 2,200, 3,000 or 5,000, that is what the organisation and government think you are worth. How does that make you feel that your working life is worth whatever it says on your payslip? Now, I don't know about you, but that made me feel pretty shit. As an entrepreneur, you find your true worth. Even if you're earning £4,000 a month, you can increase that worth as there's no cap on it, like there would be working the police force. You can increase that worth to £4,000 per month or even to £83,333, which is £1 million a year through innovation, progress, effort and self-improvement. Personally, and I 100% believe in this, police officers should get paid way, way more than what they're currently being paid. I have nothing but absolute respect for every police officer for doing what they do, especially with the income they earn. Number 8, creativity. Being in the police force, you are very limited to how creative you can get. You may have amazing ideas and concepts to better help the police force, but most of the time your ideas will fall on deaf ears. One of the most amazing things I've come to realise in becoming an entrepreneur is that in fact I am a creative person. I didn't think this at all when I was working in the police force because I couldn't express my creativity, and in all fairness, I wasn't really concerned about doing so. But now my mind is running wild with different planning ideas, marketing ideas, product concepts and event ideas. And I'm even writing my own book. I was so fixed in my mindset when I was working in the job that I wasn't even aware of my capabilities. Number 9, constant personal growth. Ask yourself, are you constantly growing as a police officer? Are you hitting new achievements, hitting new targets and goals, or pushing the boundaries of what's capable of your life? If you are, great, but I'm going to assume not. Being an entrepreneur, you are always in a state of personal development. You are constantly learning about business, your own character, your mindset, new strategies, new concepts, new ways of implementing tasks, new partnerships, and new ways of reaching higher levels for your business and personal life. Because if you're not, then you won't make it very far as a successful entrepreneur. I first came across this quote in the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, and it's something that I completely agree with. And he states, if you're not growing, you are dying. And as soon as I adopted that kind of mindset, I ensured that I'm constantly growing to new heights, and to be honest, I couldn't be happier. Number 10, and last but not least, legacy. Now, bear with me on this one because we're going to get a little bit deep. I want you to fast forward right now in your imagination to your deathbed. You are 10 minutes away before you leave this world, surrounded by your family and closest friends. In those last 10 minutes of your life, what thoughts do you believe will be running through your mind? Will it be the feeling of achievement due to how many arrests you made? Will it be the feeling of a life fully lived due to all the hours you worked in the police force? Or will it be the feeling of achievement of being in the police force for 30 plus years of your life? Now, I highly doubt it. You'll be thinking, I wish. You'll be thinking, I wish there was more time to spend with my family and loved ones instead of working so much. You'll be thinking, I wish I travelled the world more instead of working in a job that I lost love for a long time ago. You'll be thinking, I wish I took a chance so that I could truly live a life to my full capabilities. And you'll be thinking, I wish I was leaving a legacy for my family for many years to come. Now, I'm not trying to scare you in the slightest, but if you do want more out of life instead of working in the police force, why on earth would you risk it before it's too late? Because for me, knowing that I could die with regret scares the absolute shit out of me. And that's why I won't be saying, I wish when I die. You see, when I speak to the elderly, sometimes there always seems to be an indication of a life not fully lived due to the statement that the majority of them would say, which is, I wish. I don't want to die with regret running through my heart. And I know that sounds a bit soppy, but I'll be thinking of all the special moments I spent with my family and loved ones, the difference I made in the quality of their lives, the contribution I made to charities and helping other people around the world, and the impact that I made to police officers' lives in helping them become successful entrepreneurs so they too can remove the term I wish from their lives. A legacy is something that will always live on if you decide to build one. Well, there you go. There's no more deepness now, so you can rest. And that is 10 reasons why you should become an entrepreneur. If you like the idea of becoming your own boss one day, then go and take the Police Officer Scorecard quiz by clicking the link in the description. I hope this video has served you well. And if you did like it, then give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.